A very warm good afternoon, my dear students. Welcome to this chemistry digital class. As you know that we have finished our 4 chapters that was there in syllabus. Now we are going to proceed for our 5th chapter. That is the last chapter of chemistry. Hope so you will enjoy these digital classes and you will understand whatever I'm going to tell you through this with the help of this presentation. Okay. So let's start. This is myself as a PGT chemistry from DAP Public School Manali. So let's start the topic with the positive mindset. Dear student, we like a proton and stay positive. This is today's thought, and I'm going to relate this thought with the attitude and with the mindset that students need to be approached in their life. Right now you are in the beginning stage of your life, so your life is so long and it is very well, so full life is there in front of you. So I just want to tell you, you need to think positive. You need to if you will think positive, if you will keep your thinking positive, obviously you will act positive, and if you will act positive, obviously that thing will reflect positive. So dear student, the positive mindset will never let you down. You need to be self motivated. So always, if I will tell you in the chemistry word, chemistry language, there's an electron, proton and neutron in the chemistry. And proton is have always positively charged particle. Because of that, the electron have some specific energy. For that, just relate it with your positive mindset also. Always we like a proton and we stay positive. Okay, so next, then if you will see these pictures, so maybe you can relate these pictures with your daily life, day-to-day life, grocery shop, medical shop. Okay, in grocery shop you will see somewhere situation like this, and in medical shop you will see somewhere situation like this. What is this? What is the most common thing in these two pictures? Yes, dear student, you will see everything in these pictures have arranged systematically. All the things are arranged systematically. If you will see grocery shop, you will see biscuit will keep in one place, juice will be keep in one place, achar or that pickles or butter that will keep in one place, creams, powder or that will keep cosmetic will be keep in one place, or eatable will keep in one place. You can see, okay, there in fridge you can see the juice kept in one place. So similar thing is there in medical shop, where you can see the same type of medicine is kept alphabetically, so that the medical store, yeah, that person who is chemist, that who is selling, he will directly go to that medicine, and he will, without wasting any time, he will sell that medicine. Okay, this is everything that you have arranged, that you have seen in your day-to-day life. Now just compare your one almirah in your home, where you kept all the dresses with full system, like here everything is arranged beautifully. You can see here this is a full arranged, and all the clothes that you can see, that is kept very nicely. If you will compare your room like this with this, so what you will find, dear student, here this room versus this room. In this room the things are very messy, the things are not in proper order, and if you want to find something, so it will waste our lots of time, and it will waste our lots of energy also, even just to find that place, that thing. Okay, so what do you think from these 3 pictures? And even in the classroom, when you will see in the classroom, in your day-to-day life, you can find in your daily classroom that desk is there, that everything is kept systematically. And you know very well, if suppose we are talking about our school, more than 1300 students are there, so all the 1300 students has not kept in one simple class. Okay, there are different class for different students. Okay, there is from LKG class to 12th class, and it is according to age. If I will say 3 plus is in LKG, and 16 plus students are there in +2 class. So these two things that shows us that according to mental level or age group, The classes is distributed, and in each classes there is also the roll number wise students will be kept. So these are somewhere giving us the idea about the systematic arrangement of things in our daily life. Now if I will ask you what are the benefits of these things are: it will save our energy, it will save our time, and it will give us clear cut idea to study the things in a better way. Okay, so dear students, we know already in our previous classes we have studied that there are so many type of elements. Okay, there is if you will see this picture, so in this picture it is very clearly, it shows that hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, there are so many different types of elements that we have in day-to-day life. So in which carbon have a different property. The carbon have property of catenation. Similar way we can see, carbon have similar way, lithium has the property to setting fire. The sodium have property to cut easily. So gold have property to malleability, ductility. Okay, so these are the some of the elements. Now if I want to ask some question from you, so do you know that how these elements has arranged in your periodic table? Do you know how these elements have arranged in the periodic table? Okay, so this chapter which we are going to study, that is classification of element, which is our chapter 5, periodic classification and properties of element. So dear student, in this particular chapter we are going to study about the classification of elements. Basically, what are elements? Elements are, you have studied in junior classes that the basic unit of all matter is atom, and when similar type of atom will combine, it will form element, and from element we will form different type of compounds. Okay, these are the things that basically we have studied. So in this particular chapter we will study, there are more than 100 elements in our day-to-day life. Right now we have total 118 elements that is discovered. So those 118 elements, how these 100 elements arranged systematically, as so many things arranged in our day-to-day life, and these 100 element classify, how these are classifying. So that thing we will study in this chapter. So the basic content of this chapter is, what is periodic table we will study, what are the need of classification of elements, in which Devonier tried, Newland's law of octave, Mendel's periodic table, modern periodic table, and trends in modern periodic table, that is periodic property. These are the basic topics that we will study. So basically 3 to 4 classes we will take to understand. So first we will understand what is periodic table. What is periodic table, dear students? So read it. It is the tabular display of element. Tabular means table form में display the element organized on the basis of its atomic number, its electronic configuration, and on the basis of its chemical property. That is called periodic table. The table also show 4 rectangular block, SPDF block. In general, within one row there is period, and where the elements are arranged in the metal in the left hand side and non-metal on the right hand side. And the row of the table are called periods. The columns are called groups. This is all about the present modern periodic table, which is at present we have the modern periodic table. Okay, but if we will see the history of periodic table, you mean from where the classification of elements start. So if we will tell about the classification of elements are the arranging of element into different groups on the basis of its similarity in their properties. That is called the classification of elements. Mean how we are classifying element? We are classifying element on the basis of their similarity in their periodic properties. The classification of similar element into the groups make the study of element easier. And why we are classifying the elements? Because the classification of similar element into the group, that makes the study of element easier. There are basically 114 different elements known so far at present. I told 118, but according to book it is 114 still. Now if early attemptation, will say early attemptation mean history of periodic classification. कहाँ से classification history start हुई? So the earlier attempt, mean the olden days, the classification of elements were attempted by grouping them known elements. At that time only 30 elements were known, and it will elements that will classified into 2 groups, that is called metal and non-metal only. Mean early classification of elements were on the basis of metal and non-metal only. The defect in this classification was that it had no place for metalloid. You know very well there are one third type of element, that is metalloid, which carry both the properties of metal as well as non-metals. Element which have property of both metal and non-metal, which were discovered later. So this was a drawback. Because of that, the earlier classification need to change. Now, why do classify elements? Why there is need to classify elements? In the year 1800, only 30 elements were known, and now at present there are 114 elements and more than that. So it is becoming difficult for the scientists to remember all the property of elements. Okay, if I will tell you remember all the properties of 114 elements, so it is difficult to keep the properties of 114 elements to remember all the property of element. Therefore there was need to classify the element on the basis of its similar properties. Many the scientists, they try to classify element based different criteria. Some brought success while some did not, as we will see in the further slides. Okay, so next, one by one we will study now how they have classified. Okay, how they have classified. So first attempt that is done by Dauvergne. So dear student, first classification attemptation, the first contribution that to classify element is going to John Dauvergne. If you will talk about John Dauvergne, you resemble the face of John Dauvergne. This is John Dauvergne. John Dauvergne in 1829, he was the friend of Goethe. He was the first who organized element by their property. He grouped them in group of 3. That's why it is called triad. Okay, that's why the name of it's called triad. Triad mean 3. Triad word came from 3. In 1817, John Dauvergne tried to classify element in the similar property into the group. He found some group having 3 elements each, so he called this group triad. He showed when their elements in a triad were written in order to increasing atomic mass. His classification was on the basis of atomic mass. He classified the element on the basis of atomic mass, in which the atomic mass of the middle element, central element, and now 3 element he is sending x, y, z suppose. So atomic mass of middle one have average atomic mass of first and third. Okay, this was his criteria. Hope so you understood. Now if we will tell something about Dauvergne, John Dauvergne, John Wolfgang Dauvergne is the full name. John Wolfgang Dauvergne. He was German chemist who is the best known for work that foreshadow the periodic table for the chemical element. He is known as the Dauvergne triad, which follow the similar pattern. He classified the element in group of 3 called triad based on similarity of properties, and that the atomic mass of the middle member of the triad was approximately the average of the atomic mass of the lightest element and the next element to this. Okay, if we will tell Dauvergne classification something more, so then Dauvergne classified element in the increasing order. He classified the element on the basis of increasing order of their atomic mass into the group, and 3 element can be kept in a triad. In each triad, the atomic mass of the middle element was approximately equal to the average atomic mass of the other 2 elements. Similarly, for example, if I'll tell about this, so you know, dear student, you know very well the atomic mass of lithium is 7 in average, and atomic mass of sodium is 23, atomic mass of potassium is 39. Now how the atomic mass of sodium is 23? You just make the average of first and third. 7 plus 39 upon 2. It will be 46 upon 2. The 46 upon 2 will come 23. Like this way, the atomic mass of the central atom will be sodium. So when he start classifying the element in this way, so he got that there is only 3 out of 30 elements. There are only 9 elements that classified successfully. Rest element he was failed to classify because those rest of element were not fit in this process the way we have done. First and third atomic mass will be the second. First and third atomic mass will be the second. first and third atomic mass will be the second. Okay, so there are basically 3 tried. He able to arrange 9 elements, in which 3 elements were there in one group. So basically 9 element total and 3 groups. 3 groups by carrying 3 elements. So 3 is the common. That's why the name of classification is tried. Okay, the defect in this classification was that all of the known element could not be correctly arranged into the triad. All of these, the defect in this classification was that all of them known element, it could not be correctly arranged into the triad. Okay, for example, 6.9, 23, 39, if we will take out the average, it will come 23, average of this will come 89, average of this will come 82. Okay, so these are the Daubigny triad. Example of Daubigny triad is lithium have atomic mass 7, sodium 23, potassium 39, I told you. So this is one example of his triad. In this triad, atomic mass of sodium is average to the other 2 elements. So it is explained here. But although this was the classification attemptation, but there was some limitation. Limitation first, Daubigny could only find 3 such triad from the element which known at that time. Thus, this system of classification was not found to be useful. Okay, such because you know very well, he is not able to classify all the element that is discovered at that time. He was able to classify only 9 element in 3 groups. This was the class limitation. Now his limitation was overcome by next scientist, that is Newland's law of octave. According to Newland's law of octave, John Newlands, he was the English scientist. He arranged the element now in order to increasing atomic mass, which was the same basis for Daubigny also, called law octave. Now octave is what? Like triad is 3, octave is 8. But he resembled the classification with the musical note like sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. You know very well there are 7 notes of music and every 8th note is again sa. जैसे हम बोलते हैं सा रे गा मा पा धा नी सा, सा रे गा मा पा धा नी सा. So it means that every 8th element will be similar. If you will start from re, re ga ma pa dha ni sa re, re will also come 8. Okay, so it contained the element from hydrogen to thorium. The property of every 8th element was similar to that that to first element. This is the table that is showing Sa mean hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, cobalt, nickel and bromium. That is the first group. Lithium, sodium, potassium, copper, rubidium, second group. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, zinc, strontium, third group. Similarly, boron, aluminum, krypton and yttrium, these are the fourth group. Like this way, if you will start, noble gas was not discovered at that time. If you will start it from the first hydrogen, so you will see hydrogen, helium, lithium, helium is not discovered. Hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, which is at present also the same sequence is there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So every 8th you will see it is again like the fluorine. Okay, so sodium, magnesium. So in this way he classified elements into the table that is carrying group and periods. So next, if we will say, dear students, so Newland's law of octave, this is basic theory. In 1863 he suggested that element are arranged in octave because he noticed after arranging the element in order to increasing atomic mass that certain property repeated every 8th element. So uska jo relation tha, that was 8. That's why the name is octave. And this is his 1838 he took birth and 1898 he died. Okay, this is the face of Newland. So Newland arranged element according to the increasing atomic mass. He found out that every 8th element had properties similar to the first, and he came to be known that Newland's law of octave. Lithium and sodium were found in the same place according to his classification, but there was also some limitations according to this. The law was applicable of element up to calcium only. It is applicable up to calcium only. It contained only 56 elements. Further, it was assumed by Newland that only 56 elements existed in the nature and no more element would be discovered in the future. But that was wrong. In order to fit element into the table, Newland adjusted 2 elements in the same slot sometime and also put some unlike element under same note. For example, cobalt and nickel are in the same slot and these are placed in the same column as fluorine. Chlorine and bromine, which have very different property than these elements. Iron, which resemble cobalt and nickel in property, has been placed differently according to away from these elements. Okay, so this is limitation. Now these limitation will be overcome in the next periodic table, that is Mendeleev's old periodic table. So dear students, recapitulation, we have done the Duvenier law of Tride today. We did Newland's law of octave. The similarities, both the classification was on the basis of atomic mass. Here it was on the basis of Tride. Okay, the average mass of the element, and here it is on the basis of musical notes. Now in the next video we will see how Mendeleev and Moseley periodic table classify the element. Okay, so for that purpose, now this is over. Watch this video 2-3 times. Hope so you enjoyed this video and you understood what I told. Now for notes making, you have to use the same video, or from your book you can make. Basically question can come related to characteristics, its example and limitations. Okay, so limitation you must learn. Limitation type of question is coming. So thank you very much. That's it from my side. Thank you.